Today on the On.NET show, we're going to be learning about Azure AD B2C, which allows you to add identity to your app easily. Come watch.
Save the date for .NET Conf 2018 on September 12th through 14th. .NET Conf is a free 3-day virtual developer event co-organized by the .NET community and Microsoft. You'll enjoy a wide selection of live sessions that feature speakers from the community and the .NET product teams. Head over to www.netconf.net to learn more and save the date.
Welcome to another episode of On.NET. Today we're going to be talking about Azure AD B2C with Parakh. Okay, how about you introduce yourself and then we can dig into the topic. So what the heck is Azure AD B2C?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me here.
No problem.
I am a product manager or program manager working on the Azure Active Directory B2C team. What this service is for Azure is a way for you to add an identity system into your applications so that customers can sign in, right? It's not, let me start off with the example. Real Madrid is using...
That's a soccer team, right?
That is a soccer team.
Okay, just checking.
That's the football team Madrid, from Madrid. And what they've done on their application, the realmadrid.com, they're using our sign-in service, the Azure AD B2C sign-in service, to allow fans to sign in. And then once they do, the application, realmadrid.com, would effectively get their information coming from Azure, but going to the application.
Right, because when I log into my Office 365 email account that Microsoft provides me as an employee, or into SharePoint, also Microsoft provides me as an employee, there I'm using Azure AD. Correct. That's what I'm authoring against,
that's
right?
Yep.
Because that's the employee scenario.
Exactly. This
is not that.
No.
Right, so this is for...
the consumers, the customers, the citizens, if you're a government.
Right.
It's for the people, the person out there. Who wants to just sign up for an application.
Right, so like for the Microsoft Store, for example, where you can log in and have an account and buy, laptops and copies of Office, presumably.
Yeah, exactly.
They could use Azure AD B2C.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, in fact, I'll jump into another example. We have another Danish company who's using B2C, and you can see they have a customized experience that's completely different from Real Madrid. So it's a completely white label. They design the experience that they want. And if you want, you can have it in 36 different languages as well, as of today.
Okay, is that how many languages your strings are localized in?
And actually they can customize the string completely. So if they wanted to create their own language and they specify it, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so there's no real limitations.
Exactly.
Do you provide an out-of-the-box auth UI or no?
We do, and I can show you that.
But I assume that's not it.
That's not it. So what they did was they took the HTML, CSS, and they provided their own HTML, CSS, and just that's what we render.
Okay,
yep.
And you guys are totally cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Let's keep on going.
Cool. So just to kind of quickly summarize what B2C is, it's allowing customers of organizations to bring their own identities to allow them to sign into, say, your application. So if you're Real Madrid, customers could bring their Twitter, their Facebook identities and actually just sign into realmadrid.com. If you're a government, then even for a government as a citizen, you could use your government ID as a way to sign in. And it's allowing governments and all of these organizations to scale very quickly as the organization scale. You're not kind of hindered by the fact that it's growing quickly, it's going viral, and oh crap, your database can't handle all these users.
Right. So here, let me ask a super fundamental question, which is, we already had this Active Directory system. There's obviously the existing Active Directory, but Azure Active Directory has existed for what, 5-6 years now, or maybe longer.
Yeah.
And we already had that. Why didn't we just use that for Real Madrid, for example, to sign up their customers? Why do we need something different? Or how are they different?
Yeah, so there are two main reasons why. First is scale. Typically, if you look at any organization, look at the number of employees they have, it's rare for it to be in the millions. Whereas organizations could hit hundreds of millions,
Unless
if not
you're like
billions.
The U.S. Post Office.
Absolutely, right. Absolutely. And then the other thing is this, the ability to customize, the flexibility of being able to customize the user experience, the whole branding of it, the look and feel, not in a way presenting that this is Microsoft, but presenting that this is your own brand. That's the biggest appeal for using B2C.
I see. So it's kind of like more oriented to the ISV market,
Right.
sort of thing.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Okay, so that's kind of the value prop. Maybe we should talk more about a little bit more about the flow of how the system works.
Okay, yeah. So imagine a scenario, let's just call it Contoso, where there are 3 applications that Contoso is building: a gaming application, a billing application, music application. And say there's a user named John. John comes to the gaming application and wants to sign in. He clicks sign in, and what will happen is that John will be redirected to the service, the Azure AD B2C service, where he will be presented with options on how John wants to sign in. And once he does, he signs in successfully, a token will be issued back to the application. Now the cool part is this unlocks SSO. So if he were to go back to the gaming application, the billing application, the music application, he doesn't need to sign in again.
Right, and SSO we mean single sign-on.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
right. And all of this is configured in B2C using a concept we call policy. And it's really the crux of it all. It's, hey, there's a user flow that I want to build. It has a different UI experience. It has certain token lifetimes. How do I configure all of that? And we configure it through policies.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. And so it looks like on the slide here that you have a federation
Yeah.
system as well. So it's not just this case of like, oh, you have to create a Microsoft account like we've kind of had in the past. Basically, there's a set, at least Facebook and Google I see listed there, that you can just sign in with those and then you're already part of the system. And are there more than just those 2?
Yeah, there's quite a few, actually. I can show it to you by taking you to our portal. All of the options that we have available. So what you're looking at here is the management experience for Azure AD B2C.
Yes.
And if you click on identity providers, I have 4 configured already. One is for Google, one is for Microsoft accounts, and one is for Facebook. And then I have another one that's a very custom OpenID Connect identity provider that I've configured, which is connecting to an Azure AD tenant, an Azure AD service.
Okay, is that the case if, going back to the Real Madrid example, I was a Real Madrid employee, I'm president of Real Madrid, and I log into the website. Can I then log in with my, rich@realmadrid.com email address that actually auths against Azure AD?
Exactly.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so the whole idea is, why should you have multiple identities?
Yes.
Use one identity, go around the world, do everything you need to do with that identity. And there are absolutely more identity providers you can add. So today, just out of the box, in addition to those 4, you could add LinkedIn, Amazon, and some other ones that we have in preview.
Okay, it looks like there's some that are more Asia-oriented.
Exactly, some Chinese identity providers.
Yeah, awesome.
For the Chinese markets.
Yeah, we like that.
Yeah. In fact, I can quickly walk you through the portal and kind of give you the layout of the whole experience.
Great.
The first thing you'd want to do is create an application. In fact, let me walk you through a demo here. The demo, what we're going to build is an application, a .NET Core 2.0 application. By clicking on File, New Project, and creating this application, you'll have B2C already configured.
Okay, wow.
Right? Yeah, so the first thing I'd say is go to File, New, and click on Project. And let's select the .NET ASP Core application.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it Demo App. Hit OK.
Very unique name.
Right. It's the most common name available. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm changing the way authentication works. I'm configuring how the project on what middlewares should be added to this system. And I'm going to select individual accounts because you as an individual are looking to sign in to this application. You are looking, as an individual, looking to sign in to the Real Madrid app in a sense. So instead of saying store the users in the app, meaning in a directory or in a store object, in a file object, that has to, in a sense, even scale now with as the application scales,
I get it.
I'm going to store it in the cloud with B2C. And what I'm going to provide here is my tenant name, the directory where all the users will be stored. I'm going to provide it the application ID. This is how you identify this application to Azure Active Directory B2C.
Okay.
So I'm going to go over here, create this application.
Right, and this application ID, would you consider that to be a secret?
It is not a secret.
It's not a secret.
It's just an identifier.
Okay.
You can generate secrets, but that's a different one.
Okay.
And inside the reply URL, which is where the token will be sent back to after the user signs in, I'm going to specify what the application would like me to specify. So I'll take a copy, hit paste it here. And because this is a web app that I'm creating, I simply click yes over here. And that's it. I'm going to hit save it and hit create. So I've registered this application with B2C. As I showed you earlier, also configured a few identity providers. The way I would do this is I would just go to their proper websites, their developer consoles, and register an application there, just the way I did.
I've done that before.
Cool, yeah. And then now the last thing that is critical, which is what I was talking about, this policy, is how you're creating these experiences. There are multiple kinds of policies, but in this particular demo, I'm going to create two kinds. One is a sign up or sign in experience, and the other I'm going to create is a password reset experience. Got it?
Both of those sound important.
Yeah, so very quickly, I'm going to do it out of the box. I'm going to give it a name, so CC demo. And then in the identity providers, I'll just say, hey, I want users to be able to sign with their MSA, Google, and Facebook accounts. For the attributes, the sign up attributes, I'll say, hey, when you do sign up, please give me your display name. What would you like me to call you? And I hit OK.
I see. So this is effectively the information that the application gets.
Exactly. Well, this sign up attributes is the information that we collect during sign up. Hey, user, give us the information about you that you want us to know, right? So it could be, hey, give me your gamer tag, give me your street address, give me your shoe size.
I see. So is this the information from the federated system that B2C collects?
That's right, too.
Oh, okay.
So we will also look at, hey, the federated system is giving us all this information. We will store it. But in addition to that, perhaps Facebook doesn't have your shoe size. Then we'll say, oh, OK, well, we don't have your shoe size. Then can you give us that information, too?
OK.
So, cool. But here, what you were going back to earlier, application claims, this is where I actually specify what is that information that should be sent back to the application.
OK, so these are two different things.
Two different things.
Now, I assume, do these not necessarily have to overlap?
They do not.
OK.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just want to collect a lot of information during sign up, but certain applications, different applications use different amounts of data.
OK.
Cool. Here is where I would trigger, just by switch of a button, I can turn on MFA. I won't do it right now, but by clicking on, every time the user signs in, they'll have to use their phone to sign in.
Right. Now, if that's on, that's going to affect the sign-up experience as well, right?
That I can control. In this case, this is a sign-up or sign-in policy, so it will trigger in both cases. It's sign-up and during sign-in. But if I wanted to have a different experience during the sign-up versus sign-in, I would create two different policies here. I would create a sign-up experience, and then independently to that, I would create a sign-in experience. And for one or the other, I can enable or disable
I
MFA.
see. OK. I think I get that.
Yep. And then that's it. I'm not going to customize my UI. I'm just going to take the default template.
Right, which is kind of what we were talking about before, whether there was one.
And what I would have done in this case now, I would have done the same exact thing by going through the password reset, but I'm just going to take an existing one that I already have.
Great.
So I will take this information. So for the reset password policy, I put it here. For the sign up, sign in, I remember it was SUSI demo. Okay. And I hit OK.
Yeah, you've done this before.
Oops. Please specify.
Oh, yeah, we didn't copy that in.
Yeah, I didn't copy the application ID in. So let me go back to the applications. Demo app. Here's the ID, but I'll use this nifty feature to copy over the application ID. Oh. So I guess I did not copy.
Please copy.
And then hit
OK, there we go.
OK. So now it's going to generate a web application for me. And when it's done, now it's going to generate it. And when it's done, I'll have a working .NET Core application that has the ability for users to sign in. Just takes a few seconds.
Now, did this add any NuGet packages in the process?
It does. It adds all the packages it needs in order to build a middleware and get the right middleware.
Okay, could you show us the dependencies node? Which seems like it's still doing something. Yeah, NuGet.
So I think it's .NET Core. I think it's all it needs, really. Let me just hit run. And if it needs to get any packages,
okay,
it should automatically get them for me. Seems like it doesn't need any more. Oh, well, it has .NET Core all.
Okay.
So
it looks like it resolved all those
Yeah,
dependencies.
exactly.
I was a little worried about that. It's like, oh, there's still those little yellow warning signals.
Yeah.
But those are gone.
Yeah. So as you can tell, I mean, adding building and signing is very trivial with B2C. You don't need to do much, and it kind of takes away the headache of having to manage all these user identities, especially in this day and age where privacy is such a big deal. There are new regulations coming out, like let the cloud, let B2C handle all those worries. Why should you?
Right, because at the very base of this is identity as a service.
Exactly, exactly. And we even, in particular, it's a customer identity as a service.
Yeah.
Right? So,
okay, there it is.
Right. So I have a running application. I would go ahead and click sign in.
Okay, and this is kind of the magic moment.
Exactly. And what it does is it goes to the URL that you could. It goes to the URL that specifies this is B2C. I did not actually give the ability as one of the identity providers to sign in using email address password.
Okay.
But I did, if you remember, select Facebook, Google, and MSA.
Okay.
So I'm going to just go ahead and select, say, Facebook. I think I'm already signed into Facebook, so what's going to happen is it's going to Facebook. Facebook will say,
yeah, I get it.
We'll sign in, it'll go federate back to the application.
So it already worked.
And it works, yeah. And B2C, and then B2C will send the token back to the application.
Right. So so we kind of have seen the whole experience now.
Yeah.
So you must talk to customers about this.
Absolutely.
What has the reaction been?
The reaction is, I mean, there is definitely a lot of excitement. In fact, we've grown tremendously month over month over the last year. It's an exciting place. It's especially with GDPR and all these new regulations. There's a lot of investment being made in this area.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
that's why it's a very exciting product, and I love being on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you missed one of the last things, which is how much does this cost?
Absolutely. Glad you asked. So, pricing, you believe it or not, is it's essentially free if you're playing it. By essentially, I mean for the first 50,000 users that are stored per month, and for the first 50,000 authentications per month, there's no fee to it.
Wow.
After that, it's a few pennies, and after that, it's
pretty reasonable.
It's very reasonable, I can tell you that. And there is one slight thing that you do need to worry about. If you are doing MFA, it will charge you 3 cents for every authentication.
Right.
But that is only on a successful authentication.
Okay, so that's basically when that text message
Exactly.
gets sent out. Actually, here's a good question.
Yeah.
We were talking about text messages, but obviously Microsoft also provides the Authenticator app,
Yep.
which you and I presumably both use.
Right.
Does B2C work with the Authenticator app?
So today it does not.
Okay.
We are working on enabling that capability fairly soon.
Okay,
and
'cause
in
I think
fact,
people
it
would
won't
like
just be
that.
just MFA, not just the Azure Authenticator app. It could be any Authenticator
Sure.
app. Yeah.
But that scenario.
That scenario will definitely be enabled. So today it's mostly you get a text message and you look at it and you're like, okay, cool, let me sign in.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So basically, we kind of covered what the service does and what it's for.
Yep.
We covered what the developer experience is, at least the base experience. It's kind of a mixture of using the portal and basically the wizard in
Right.
VS. And I presumably there's some docs
Yeah.
that exist somewhere.
Absolutely. So one thing actually to add to that, as you were mentioning, even though it's 2 components, the best part is now you will never have to deploy your app again if you wanted to just chain in your sign-in experience, right? So you're calling on to this different service, and say you choose to change the UI for that particular experience. You don't need to deploy the
That's
new
a
app.
separate thing.
Exactly, because it's calling out a REST API, or it's calling out it's doing a web call and you're going somewhere else.
Right, or say you only had Google as one of your federated partners
Yeah.
and or sign-in providers, and you wanted to add Facebook,
Exactly.
then that's also just a back-end change.
Exactly. It's all just a change in the policy, and the application will never know what changed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we
Yeah.
pretty much covered it.
Absolutely. So if you are interested, I mean, there's documentation, aka .ms/AAD B2C. We love getting our questions. We love answering questions on Stack Overflow. It helps the rest of the community as well.
For sure.
And then for feedback, there's always user voice. So
Okay.
Thank you for having me again.
Awesome.
And inviting
Okay.
me here.
Yeah. Well, this has been another episode of the On.NET Show. We learned about Azure AD B2C from Parakh, and you can add all of this to your application today. Thanks for watching.